Kennedy is occupied with somebody else. Look here now. Well, now I think that's a bad call, because for Herschel Walker, Kennedy was not occupied.
2nd and 22. Complete to Herschel. Herschel out of bounds at the 45. Regained only 4 of those yards.
James, let's go back on that chop block. The rule is that if a defensive player is engaged by an offensive lineman or an offensive blocker, and a second player comes in and attacks him low, that's a chop block.
Be it run or pass.
But here we're going to see it again. Watch Kennedy come up the field. He's coming right at Herschel Walker. It's kind of simultaneous. Probably if the officials had a chance to look at film, they would change that call, but it was declined anyway.
Safety blitz. Sack. Michael Sinclair.
Philadelphia has not responded well to blitzes in this football game. That's again a defensive back coming off the corner, comes all the way and gets a piece of it. Gets a shot at Cunningham, and then he's ultimately sacked. They just haven't responded well to him.
Warren there catches it at the 34.
Summary is sponsored by McDonald's.
10:18 remaining in the game, and Philadelphia in danger of losing to the Seahawks, trailing 17-10, and even more remarkably so, John, when you consider Seattle with only 50 yards of offense total throughout the ball game.
But a lot of times the winner, isn't necessarily the fastest guy or the guy with the most yards. Seattle is playing very intelligent football at this point. They're not making a big error. Where Philadelphia is getting sacked, blitzes seem to be causing them problems. They're looking for big plays, and then they're taking big losses. So it's the smart guy sometimes that makes the best offense.
Randall Cunningham sacked 7 times in the ball game. Philly has given up 8. Here's the wild card race, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Philadelphia fighting these teams for a wild card spot. Only 3 of these squads will be in. Philadelphia can ill afford to be tied with Green Bay at the end of the season, because the Packers would get the nod by virtue of their victory over the Eagles in Milwaukee 4 games ago. 2nd and 8. Play action. Bell looking for Doug Thomas. And Thomas made the adjustment. Incomplete. The fans wanted pass interference, but Eric Allen did play the ball.
Yes, and there was some pushing and shoving on both players, but again, the play action pass, Tom Flores went for the kill. Thomas has got him beat. The ball is a little bit late coming, and they just kind of get up and push. That was a good job by Allen. That was a right call. Gelball gets hammered at the end. He holds the ball maybe just a little long. Takes a little bit of a punishment there. But that was a nice shot at the home run to win the football game. I think he would have liked to have gotten that ball up just a little bit sooner, because Thomas certainly had a step on Allen.
3rd and 8 from the 37. Gelball. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. And Mark McMillan, knowing he should have had that one.
Well, again, they went to the same kind of a pattern they had, and they're just not connecting with it. It's there. There's a chance for completion there. I'm sure Tom Flores is saying, could have used a first down there. Tom's not used to this year being in front at this time. It's a whole new set of strategies he's got to invoke there. Tom and I were assistants together with the Oakland Raiders back in 1975, and I think he's one of the finest men, as I said earlier, that I know, and one of the best coaches I know. I think Seattle is very fortunate to have him.
Seattle's also very fortunate to have Rick Tootin doing the punting. Philadelphia very fortunate to have Sikahema returning. Flags on a play as Sikahema takes it up to about the 38, but there's a flag back at the 14.
Sikahima, I'm sure every once in a while says, guys, don't block. Let me do it on my own. Just don't get me a penalty. And, you know, again, he had a 50-yard gain call back earlier in the game, at the start of the game. Now he gets a big one here, and he had one last week.
A 50-yarder last week. This one was a 52-yarder.
So it's
clock in the back, number 32 on the return.
James Joseph, 9:07 remaining when we come back.
The league is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Levi's new loose-fitting jeans. And by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
A gorgeous shot of Mount Rainier. And a gorgeous score for Seahawks fans. Seattle ahead 17-10. 9:07 left in the ball game, and Philadelphia will start from its own 7, 1st and 10. Complete to Byers. First down. And a lot more. Finally run out of bounds and knocked out of bounds by Eugene Robinson. Keith Byers.
Well, he'd been silent for a big part of this football game. We were wondering where he was. Randall probably said, hey, I'm going to get you the football. Here's the look at it. Again, Randall Cunningham really effective on the bootleg type pass. There he starts back in there right in his face, and look how quickly he stops. Well, he's got us fooled too, but he gets the ball to Keith Byers, who now, using his old backfield skills, is off and running, and now they've got a chance at midfield.
His longest had been a 38-yard reception, that a 46-yarder. 1st and 10 from the 47 of Seattle. Walker. And Herschel Walker, good, strong effort as Walker grills and grinds out 7 yards.
Philadelphia has really struggled in the second half. They haven't done a lot. The missed field goal early was the best thing that happened to them. Now they're on a drive, quieting the crowd down just a little bit.
And that fumble returned for a touchdown by Seattle. Walker on 2nd down. Picks up 2. Will be about a yard shy. Stopped by Joe Nash. 7:50 and counting left in the ball game. Eagles trailing by 7. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts remaining, 3 apiece. As you take a look at Tom Flores on the left, Tom Catlin, defensive coordinator, on the right.
This is where Randall Cunningham has been effective in the last 2 weeks with the quarterback sneak. It's very hard play to defend with a guy like Randall because he's got such spring in his leg. He just kind of leaps right over the line. Watch Seattle here try to cover the center and both guards with defensive players, hoping they can knock them back into it.
Being 6'4" helps a little bit too.
And having really great legs helps him too. It's always a problem for a defensive signal caller on 3rd and short if you run an effective quarterback sneak. Let's see what happens here.
First down by a bunch by Heath Sherman, still on his feet. What a great run by Heath Sherman. And now we see why Herschel Walker and Byers both said he has got to play, coach.
Watch him come off tackle here. Now watch Herschel Walker in front of him. Herschel Walker's going to go in there and find somebody, we think. There, he finally gets a defensive back. But watch the way Heath Sherman finishes this run. Well, that's good running. I guess Seattle was looking for the quarterback sneak too, huh?
Here was a guy who, coming into the season, was thought to be fighting for his life on the roster. And boy, did he do it. As we take a look at Cortez Kennedy. Hey, man, they need a few rolls, don't they?
You got to have a big roll of tape to get that around him, but they got to get him back in that football game quick.
1st and 10, complete to Barnett.